Most television shows, before a cast is finalized, they get in the room together and have auditions together and see if it all gels.
The good thing was that none of them were trying to act being a judge. Right. And that happens a lot. You get someone now, if I was a judge, what would I do? I'd sit here and I'd say this, that, and that, and you can't do that. Whatever happens, you've got to play it for real. You've got to be real. And the minute we saw that they were real people, they had hearts a mile wide, but they had the wealth of experience that they've got, then we were pretty secure that it was going to work.
And I'll tell you something, it was really funny. We sat down at Ryan's house, and within 5 minutes of all of us, the four of us sitting there, me, Jennifer, Steven, and Ryan, it was like we got on like a house on fire. And I think what we all realized, we're all from the same side of the tracks. We all are performers. We all make music. It's really the center of our lives. I don't think there's anything about music that we don't know a lot about, if not everything. So, I mean, it was really funny. I mean, it was like we'd been friends forever, you know what I mean? It was very cool.
Steven, I gotta ask you about your turns of phrase, because I like write them down, they're so genius. I mean, my favorite one, which I did write down, is after Monday and Tuesday, even a week says WTF.
Yeah.
Where do those come from?
That's just sauteed and wrong sauce right there.
Wait, did I get it wrong?
Oh, no, it was perfect.
But where do they all come from? Are they just...
You know, I started, you know, I was 17 when my father was classically taught at Juilliard, New York. And, you know, I sat under the piano for the longest time listening to those notes go through my soul. And that's where Dream On came out from. It was just, it was a line, you know. But then when Aerosmith came along and we wrote our first song, you know, I had to continue to write, and it was after we wrote Moving Out, it was like, oh God, we got to write another 12 of those.
What do I do now? Right.
So, you know, I didn't, how do you write a song? You know, I had to, what am I going to write about? And I used to collect little bits and pieces of phrases on a paper and put it in my back pocket and then bring it. And like, I remember thinking to the first time we played, what am I going to say to people as a rock band? To an audience. Good evening, people. Welcome to the show. That was a stretch for me. Got something here I want you all to know. When Life and People Bring on Primal Screams, which John Lennon had read a book about Arthur Janov and Primal Screams, you got to think of what it's gonna take to make your dreams make it. And so that was the beginning of the end. So I write these little phrases down that I love. They're word games and things, you know, like, you know, like this morning, I walked by this store on my way to a meeting, and it said, one night stand.
What?
And I thought, well, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, wait a minute.
And I looked in the store, and there were nightstands, and it was one nightstand. And so, and see, I internalized that, and that's the kind of stuff you want to put in songs that people, you know, and so that's where they come from.